Welcome back. This is video number 3, and we are going to talk about website maintenance automations. So we briefly talked about this in the previous video about how to update your plugins, your themes, and all the other tedious things. Now what we're going to do is we are going to dive into each area, and starting with the website maintenance, and I'm actually going to show you which plugins that you should install. And let's say you're watching this 10 years later and this plugin is no longer available. What can you do? If that's the case, before I want to talk about any of this is to show you how to find plugins. One thing you can do is you can go to the plugins section, click on add new, and you're going to see this keyword box. And it's basically a search box which will allow you to search for all sorts of plugins. So if I type in the keyword plugin update, you can see the amount of active installations, meaning how many people have actually installed this, how many people have reviewed this, what are the ratings. So this is something you want to pay close attention, because this is a difference between someone who might be updating their plugin frequently versus maybe a freelancer or somebody who's just doing this for fun or on the side. So you definitely want to go through here and take a look at this kind of as social proof, but a little bit further, you can click on, more details and get an idea of when it was last updated. So for example, this plugin has not been tested, and you can see that it was last updated about 4 months ago. If you see something like this, this is a sure sign to stay away from it. Now, one plugin that we highly recommend is called Easy Updates Manager. Now, if you go here and you take a look at when it was last updated, as of making this video, it was last updated about 2 weeks ago. And that's a good sign, because that tells us that the plugin is most recent. Now, you can further look at like the changelog and have an idea of the other things that have been updated. So once you get an idea, okay, this plugin is updated, you need to take a look at the features and the benefits. Does this actually solve your need? So in this case, the Easy Updates Manager, as you can see, it will allow you to update your plugins. So let's go ahead and find this and install this. An easy way to installing plugins on your site is you don't have to download this and then upload it and all that. You can simply go over here and copy and paste the title in the search box here. So we can see that here. And we can also see that 200,000 active installations, 435, really good. It seems like a 5-star rating. All right. So it says manage all your WordPress updates, individual updates, automatic updates, and loads more. Now, bear in mind that a lot of these plugins, they will have like a basic level, free level, and then they'll have a premium paid level. So what you want to do is you want to figure out, does the free level actually suit what you need? So we're going to go ahead and click on install now, and then of course we'll click on activate once that is done. All right, so click on activate here, and let's just take a look at this particular plugin. So I'm going to close these down, and we will look for the location. So configure, so there's a configure. Sometimes you'll find it on the left hand side, sometimes it's under settings, and sometimes it's under tools. Based on what I'm seeing here, it's simply this configure button. So we're going to click configure, and this message just keeps asking me to update it, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to let this plugin actually do it all. So that's the purpose of this. So it says, thank you for installing Easy Updates Manager. I'm just going to click dismiss. It says disable all updates. This is the master switch and will enable or disable updates for the WordPress installation. So we can enable all updates. So right now click that, is already enabled. If it's disabled, it's gonna have the green check here. So green here, it's already enabled. It says quick configuration actions. Press a button below for quick configuration. This is a quick way to change other settings below on one go. So we can either, update everything or just have the WordPress default settings. And let's see here. If you put your mouse over the question mark, it tells you exactly what it's going to do. It says WordPress acts like this plugin is not installed. Only minor core updates. So in other words, only some updates will be updated. So in this case, you could click auto update everything, and this would actually update every single thing. So right here it says WordPress core updates. You can disable core updates, and core updates basically means the WordPress as a whole. So WordPress, the content management system, whenever an update comes out, you want to auto update all releases. So we're going to leave this unchecked because this includes WordPress development updates, and we just want the main final core update. Then we have plugin updates, enable auto updates for themes, translation updates, where unless you really run something that's related to translation, I would just simply disable it. Because that actually will clog up your site. Okay, core notification emails, basically this will email you whenever an update is done. So just simply enter your email there and you're good to go. Now there are other elements here. So we got plugins here, click on plugins. And what's cool about this is you can either just go with the general settings, or if you go under plugins, it will allow you to set, okay, I only want these plugins to be updated and I don't want this one here. So that's what this feature would allow you to do. So if you know for a fact that you don't want to update, certain plugins for whatever reason, then you can do that. Then we have themes. You can do the same thing with themes. But like I said, typically the easiest way is simply to go with general, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to, go ahead and check out their premium version to get an idea of if that's what you want to do. But to be honest, the free level pretty much takes care of everything that we want. So that's good for you. Now, another little plugin that you can have, let's say that you update a plugin and then your site crashes or something, or you update your theme and the site crashes. What can you do? Now, in this case, there is a plugin called WP Rollback. And what this enables you to do is, let's say, for example, that situation were to occur. This allows you to basically roll back to the working plugin. And this is really nice to have because anything can happen in terms of WordPress because you're installing, third-party WordPress plugins. And you don't know if they were programmed correctly, or there's a conflict between one plugin and the other one. So having that option is going to be really good for you. All right, so let me go back to, let's see, we installed the WP rollback. Let's see, down here. And let's see, I want to go back to the updates. So this one here, configure. The next plugin that I want to talk about is Akismet. And Akismet is actually run by the company that developed WordPress. Now, bear in mind, this does cost money. In fact, if you click on the pricing, you'll see that it is $5 a month. Now, is it worth it? That is the question. What it does is it basically is a plugin that will monitor the comment section. And if it detects that the comment is spam, it'll automatically throw that comment into spam. We've installed this on many of our websites, and at the end of the day, $5 a month versus trying to just monitor all of your comments, it's worth it. in the end. So it really depends on how much you value your time. If you want to just start out with monitoring and moderating your comments and then maybe upgrading to Akismet later down the road, you can do that. But this is a plugin and it's really, really useful. They're constantly updating it and coming out with a plugin that really does its job. So next up, we have backups. There are many WordPress backup options. And one of them is called Updraft Plus. This is a plugin that we also use, and it's very, very helpful because not only can you tell the system, hey, I need you to schedule, once a day at midnight, you can also have it upload the files to a certain third-party server. So it can upload to FTP, it can upload to Amazon S3, it can upload to, Google and Dropbox and more. So you can get an idea just from the icons right here. And if you go here, you type in Updraft Plus, you can see that the last update was about 4 weeks ago. Now, bear in mind that they do have a free version, and then of course they do have a version that is, premium. So I would highly recommend that you just come here and check it out, see if the free version fits you or you need to upgrade to the premium version. Now, what's really cool about Updraft Plus is you can actually use the system, log into the system, and then manage from that centralized system all of your websites. So instead of having to just do one website at a time, you can actually automate the whole process on a network of sites. So what you need to do here, same thing, go to plugins, click on add new, and then of course, we're going to do a search for Updraft Plus, and that's this one here. So this is the one that I was talking about earlier, the dashboard. But this allows you to have a single dashboard to manage all of your WordPress sites. Now, you're not going to really need this if you only have one site. If you have one site, I just recommend this right here. So this would actually be on your sites, and then this would just manage, kind of be the central control tower. So we're going to click on Install Now. Next, we'll click on Activate. And let me quickly show you around. So what I like about this is if you're new and you don't know what is what, they actually walk you through every step of the way. So if you go to, let's go through the settings here. So backup and restore, you can manually back up now. So in other words, this could back up the site, but it would not be automated out of the box. So if you wanted to say, every time you log in, you click on the backup now button to back it up, you could do that if you wanted to, but that's not really going to be automated. You want to be able to automate that. So what you want to do is you want to go to settings, and you're going to need to connect a remote server or storage base. So we've got FTP, Dropbox, Amazon S3, Google Drive, Google Cloud, Backblaze, email, and all these other different storage servers that you can back up to. So you can see kind of an idea of the different places that you can back up to. Now, once you've connected this, you can actually tell the system. So it says files backup schedule. So you could say every 2 hours, which I don't really recommend unless you have a site that's just booming, has tons of people on it and all that. Even so, in that case, I would do daily, and I would do it perhaps, at midnight or something. So I think the free version, it doesn't really allow you to specify the time, but you can do daily and that's fine. That way it doesn't put a huge amount of load on the server. So you can say database backup schedule. I want to do that daily. And then it says, and retain this many scheduled backups. So what that means is, let's say that I want to retain 10. It will back it up every single day for 10 days, and it will keep at least 10 days worth of backups. Bear in mind that if you don't have a huge amount of space in your web hosting account, that could pretty much eat it up really fast. So you might want to do something like 5. Now, database backups are actually not that big, so you could do something like 5 or even 10. So really up to you in that case. So it's a matter of just connecting these, setting the schedule, and then of course you have premium extensions so that you have an idea of the different premium options that are available to you. So that's all I would do. I would simply, go to settings, connect these, set this up, and you should be good to go. All right. So that's in terms of backups. Now, in terms of security automation, because you really don't have time to do any of that, most security plugins are automated, so you don't have to worry about that. But the one that we recommend the most is called WordFence, and that is located at wordfence.com. And you can download this. They have a premium version, and I believe they have also a free version. The free version really can only do so much, so it just makes sense to have the premium version. So if we click on pricing here, you can get an idea of what is, available to you. But this is something that's good to have. So it's constantly scanning for viruses, for malware, just ways to just protect your WordPress site. Because your WordPress site is an asset, you definitely want to protect it at all costs. So I hope you enjoyed that. Those are just a few things that you can do, but pretty much the main things that you will definitely want to do when it comes to website maintenance.